Hello and welcome to Center for Victory's podcast of Your Best Day Yet. I'm Eric Guy, Chief Victory Officer. At Center for Victory, we're here to unlock, reinforce, and enrich relationships through personal and professional development. With me once again is my lovely daughter and our Chief Joy Officer, Faith. Welcome back again.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
You want to turn the tables a little bit, and we have something coming up that's been a part of our family for a long, long time. I can't even remember the first time we did this. It's been so long.
Yeah.
But do you want to explain it or you want me to explain it?
You can explain it.
Okay, so
I'll take it from there.
What we do, and a lot of people have emailed me and called me and messaged me in other ways about this, but we have a family vision day at the beginning of every year, and we're getting ready for that just because we're getting towards the end of the year. Ours happens to be that first weekend of January. And what that is we just get together. We do a lot of goal setting. We have a couple, questionnaires and assessments everybody takes.
Yeah.
And, you guys have been able to do that since you were very small. So it's not like a heavy weight thing.
No.
But we talk about kind of what you want for the year, what that looks like. And from our perspective, your parents' perspective, your mom and I, we really get to tune in to what you guys are kind of looking at and what you kind of want your year to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And then planning out, for years to come, what that looks like, I know for one of yours, what you just did was graduate college early. That was very important to you. And that's huge. I mean, considering that I was the right age and barely graduated college, you did it early. And that is something to think that like I was 2 years older than you when I graduated college.
Taste our own,
So I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna let you ask the questions today about that. And then one of the last things we do is, I guess it's probably in one of your questions, so I'll wait till that happens. That's one of the last things we do at the end of our vision day. But we are going to have a community vision day, January 14th. I know we have about 25, 30 people already signed up for that, and that you can get more information on our website. So what do you got for me?
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
So I know you kind of touched on this a second ago with, what Vision Day is, but I want to know, and I think the people who are really interested in hanging out with us, especially me, but that's us, why Vision Day? Why do you think we do Vision Day?
Well, I mean, a few reasons. I've always wanted to know what's going on with you guys. I think that gives you a day to really reflect.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, why we've always had at the beginning of the year that it coincides with the new year is not just because it coincides with the new year, which many people do set goals then. But that's also a little bit of a downtime for us in the business. So it's easier to do it at that time. Why? There's a lot of good answers there. I mean, it's getting out what you want, helping you with, life, your career, those kinds of things, seeing what you really want, and then being reflective on what we really want, and then what we want to do as a family, and planning out our year.
Mm-hmm.
One of the nice things about doing this is we make sure we're together. And, I just booked our trip for next year. I mean, I'm 12 months ahead because of this, and we'll all be together.
Mm-hmm.
This time next year for a nice trip all together. And, without that, I think we just keep going through the motions. So I don't want people to just go through the motions. Yeah. And the other reason for me, my why for Vision Day is I love to watch people come alive when they get to know themselves, when they get to know others, when a spouse is sitting across from another spouse and they go, wow, I never knew you wanted that. Or I just had a dad recently say to me, he said, you know what? I never knew my son wanted me to take him fishing and teach him golf until we went over this. And he just said that to me a couple weeks ago because we were talking about this, because he was asking if we were going to, that's one of the gentlemen that was asking me if we were going to do a community one. But I was like, wow, that's powerful. that would have never been said. That dad would have never known. And that kid, who's, I would say, is a young adult, would have never told his dad.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, just getting it out there. And the other thing is, especially for people close to me, is I like to help them with that throughout the year. Right. Of, hey, did you do this? How can I help?
Right.
Because I like giving back of that, because that, there's not a lot of things I can do well with that. I can do well. I can't build anything. I can't fix somebody's car.
Some specialties,
And I just love watching people come alive with that, and just having that. Here's what I want to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but like, these are some things that I want. And then for younger people that are coming in, to just get out of the way of all their head trash that adults might be putting in their lives to, in years to come. It's just like, hey, look, this is what I want. These are the things that I want. This is the kind of relationships that I want, and all that. So,
yeah, I think there's definitely a power in defining a purpose for your life, because we're called to be purposeful. And this gives you the opportunity to say, oh, I can be purposeful and I have accountability partners in the process of this. Like, I know we do, and we can talk about it later, we do like quarterly updates throughout the year. So it's not just I'm going to lose this much weight, or I'm going to like cut out sugar or something. Like, it's not just like a willy-nilly type of goal. They're very intentional goals, and intentional questioning and reflecting and thinking through, why do you want this goal? What is your purpose? What is your why? And that kind of goes into our next question here. How is goal setting different on Vision Day than it is for, like, say, just a normal resolution on New Year's?
Well, one of the things that we do is we try to, we take it a step, we get those goals, we make sure they align with the person. So meaning, hey, this is what I want to do, right? Because some people might, for instance, a lot of people might set a money goal, and maybe that's not what they really want. It has to align, right? You're not just setting goals to setting goals' sake. You're setting goals to say, hey, this is something that I actually want to do, and it aligns with my purpose.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm going to, have an impact on people, if I'm going to, lose weight to do a certain thing. But one of the things that we do at the end, of course, is create our vision boards. And that's how we keep it out front of us, and some people, think I'm a little overboard for this, but I mean, I write my goals down every morning.
But you reach your goals.
But I reach my goals too. Yeah.
So
and I have some big ones, but I think it's just getting them fresh, and then having, you already said it, having one or two accountability partners that don't tell you no, but that tell you go.
Ooh.
That was good. Wasn't it? I knew you'd like that.
Mic drop.
All right.
That was pretty good. That's your vision.
You can use that. Use that in your classroom.
Yeah, I will.
It's
our next room message.
There's no, there's only go.
Yeah, the right people will tell you go. The wrong ones
tell you no.
Tell you no.
All right.
Amazing. And I think I personally like it because I'm very much a goal setter, almost to a fault in a way, because I'm like, okay, this goal's done. Next one. Like, it's just always like the next thing. And it's good to be like, oh, maybe one of my goals will be just like celebrating in the moment and being in the moment. And even just little things like that and little reminders kind of help establish that purpose for you, that why for you. And so we keep bringing up this, our why, which, just sounds like the start of like a question, but it's actually a question for Vision Day. So giving like a little sneak peek into what it may look like if you're there, which you should be. What is your why? Why do you always say that? Like, what's your why? What does that mean?
Yeah. So what's your passion? Like, what gets you going? I need a why, because there are days that sometimes aren't great.
True.
I mean, some people have said to me, well, you're always happy. And that's not the truth. Right. But when I'm not, I go back to that why. Even where we live and how we've created the outside space is part of our why. Right. And, if you're interested, actually, before I forget to say this, if anybody is listening to this or watching this and you're interested in more about that why, I did a podcast with a good friend of mine, Brett Pyle. And, I would say he's kind of the master of helping people create their extraordinary why. I mentioned him at every Vision Day. The first time I heard him speak, I'm like, dude, we're aligned. Like, we're right here, man. It was just validating everything that I believed, and we just kind of hit it off. But it's a great podcast. He's also a wonderful, wonderful person. But he really sees that too. And when you can see that and help people understand their why, that goes back to the difference between setting goals and what we do on Vision Day. We create the why because goals don't have necessarily, sometimes don't have anything attached to them.
Yeah.
When you have a why, you don't have to worry about the how.
Ooh.
Right. So
just dropping bars
yeah,
today.
I know. That the how is, people are afraid to say goals. I don't know how I'm going to lose. For me years ago, it was like, I don't know how I'm going to lose that 45 pounds. But my why underneath that was very strong. I want to be out running around with my grandkids, just like I did with you and your brother. I mean, I really do
still
that.
do.
Yeah. And man, by the way, last time I did beat you.
No, you did not. No, he's lying. Only about this though.
But I mean, that's what gets me up and gets me going in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. Those early morning workouts and keeping that weight off. And, most people would say at that point in time, why you want to lose that much weight? Because that's what I heard. And I was like, well, I might not look bad, but I don't feel good. Like, I know where I should be. Right. There's a difference. And that why gets me up and gets me going. I believe that I have a very strong why. I have, I want to be able to influence and create, a legacy of love and growth and happiness for people. And that's what gets me going. And I need that because there are bad days. And if you don't have that to fall back on, then any goal you set is just gone. Again, that's why most people within the first 14 to whatever it is, the research, the first 14 to 30 days of the year, everybody makes those resolutions and then they're gone because they don't have a strong why. It needs to bond. Yeah, you have to have the glue that sticks to that to create that. So it pushes you to keep going. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I know it makes sense to you because you heard it.
I'm like, yeah, preach, but I've already heard that, my whole life. I think it's interesting too, because you're talking about like this intrinsic motivation. I think our society is, telling us, oh, well, you need to look like this and this, and it's all this extrinsic, like we're putting in all of this information. It's like, who do you actually want to be? Because everybody else can be their own self and they can copy trends or they can compare themselves. But you fundamentally are so different than that. And that's why the why question for me is, I'm going to be my own person because that's who I was made to be. And your why, like not everybody's going to get up and go on the elliptical for like 5 million hours. I'm, roughly adding up it, and write their goals every day. But like there are all these sorts of opportunities and every person can have the opportunity to do and involve themselves in their why every day. And I think you hammered that one home. So coming back to, this intrinsic motivation, keeping up with these goals, how do you and how have we kept track of our goals and our vision throughout the year?
I do think it's very important to write them down every day. Physically write them down, not just go over them in your head, not just have them on a list and reread them. There's power in writing them down, looking at them, telling yourself, hey, look, am I on track with this? Like every day. Like, because if I didn't do that, it'd be easy to get off track because there's everything out there that's going to, grab my attention so much. Right. And the accountability piece. And again, I don't tell my goals to everybody because I don't want naysayers.
So yeah. Right? I want go, not no.
Yeah. I want someone that's going to say, yeah, I don't know how you're going to do it either. Right. That's about as negative as they can be. Right. But you're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. You'll make it happen. Those kinds of things that say, go, 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 or how can I help? Right. You want somebody on your side. And I don't think, and I've never done that. I don't think it's beneficial to tell everybody because everybody's, you're going to have people that are jealous that you just wrote them down because they can't do that. You're going to just soul suckers who go, oh, you can never do that. You shouldn't do that. But I don't need that. Like just need people that are going to say yes. And that's the kind of people that you need to be around. The other thing that we do, and again, I think some people think this is a little bit bizarre when I tell them, but it's not real. It's not as formal as it sounds.
That's true. It's not as businessy.
Yeah. But I always encourage companies to do quarterly reviews with their employees just to see where they're at as far as development. And that's what we do at home. It's not, like I said, it's not formal. Usually we're sitting around the living room, every 3 or so months, just every quarter, just saying, hey, where are you at? What else do you need help on? And I think we've gotten better at that, like as a family. And you can see my list is up here for you guys. What the last time we met, I just want to, because I want to make sure that I'm helping you out. And I'm looking at some of those things, and it's like, I know one of yours was working out. I mean, you're crushing it right now, even though you didn't meet me this morning.
I'm never living that down.
No, I'm just messing. But I mean, you really are. You're doing great with that. Your brother, his wife, we've been able to help with that. That was one of those things that they needed in this last corner, turned into a whole dinner and a hockey game because somebody happened to give us 4 hockey tickets. And that's when we were going to be down there visiting. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is great. But that's how we keep track of them throughout the year, measure. If it matters to you, you have to measure it, right? I hate wearing a watch. Like, I do not like wearing a watch, but I got one on now because it's an Apple Watch because it tracks my fit.
Yeah, and because you like seeing me get more calories than you. That's on my vision. That's going to be my vision board next year.
Okay, very good. But I do have I have one very good friend, and we were together the other day and we were telling a group of people, we made a pact 3 years ago. We both went out and got one of these, and it's coming up on 3 years, the 1st of January, that both of us, even when both of us had COVID, we got all those bars, and stayed healthy. He's lost a lot of weight. I've lost a lot of weight. We share information back and forth. He actually just texted me this morning, but about something new that we've been looking at as far as it's electrolyte stuff. But I mean, that's off topic.
But that's a part of your. I mean, that's a part of your vision and your why, and I think that's
part of his. And he encourages that, and we see who can beat one another up in the morning, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Right. And
he's got your height though.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So whatever you're doing, you have to track it. You can't just let it go. You have to have a why underneath it. It has to make sense to you.
Yeah. And I do want to say, even like with my goals, some of them were not, beating my friends up or anything. No, but my goals were like just keeping a planner, which sounds so silly, but seriously, like keeping a planner, because I will forget what I'm doing if I don't write it down. And my planner included like even just tracking my mood every day and like taking my multivitamins and doing I do devotional every morning. So just doing this daily habits too that I had set for myself, because the goals don't have to be like big, crazy goals that I'm going to graduate college or I'm going to, be awesome, whatever, whatever it is. But my goals were even just small ones. Like, I'm going to keep a planner. I'm going to learn how to save my money into like 3 separate accounts or something, or just like invest in stocks, because we were talking about that actually today. Just even small goals. It's not like this is just something where you have to set like crazy, amazing goals. Like, I'm going to be this way and I'm going to be doing these things. Like, some of these are just tangible things you can do every day. And I still look at my goals through my background on my computer and my iPad. And
Me too.
Yeah, I think that helps too, because, you're constantly, you can't escape the ability to be awesome. You can't escape, your why when it's, staring at you in the face.
And that's what you do. I mean, keeping track of those with the vision board.
Yeah.
We really didn't mention that on this particular question that you asked me, but doing, having that vision board, seeing that it's right in front of you, keeping track of those things, those are all good ways to make sure that those get done. And then I think the other thing that maybe wasn't in here was just setting the belief about it. And that goes back to your why. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. I think that was Walt Disney or something like that. I couldn't.
Sure.
Yeah. But and that really is, but you have to believe it. You have to make progress, little progress every day.
Mhm.
I have a couple that are really big, and still don't know how I'm going to do it, but the why's there, and I'm going after it.
And you start somewhere.
Yeah.
Like you started with the belief and then you keep making those, like even if they're smaller steps than you
Yeah.
would have thought they would be, like you're still putting that effort out.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's all I have for you. I mean, I think we
Those
just
are good
need to
questions.
see our people there, get ready for
Yeah.
January 14th.
Yeah, if you're listening to this before January 14th, it'll be we'll have more information on the website, centerforvictory.com. You can check us out there. We're not going to have a bunch of people to that, but I think we have 25 or 30 people already. But with that, give us a like, hit the bell icon so you get notified when we post again. And just remember, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, make this your best day yet. See you soon.